AKA Powders, what is happening? We're live. Cheers to all of you. Yeah, already worked out today. Already saw the mother. Spent time with the lady. We're having a good morning. But this happened. So I've been using these Papermate fine liners to do some of my transformer work here. Peter A DeLuca, by the way, in case you guys didn't know. And these fine liners love to bleed, and I was kind of in love with the way they were kind of turning out. So now I'm like, I have to redraw Blackhawk here as he appeared in the beginning. I would say like first 20 minutes, right? The first transformer. 1 second. Sorry about that, AKA Powders. That was total excellence. Sorry, guys. I just got a phone call from Mama, Big Mama. Not Big Mama, my mother. But total excellence, dude. I am so sorry. I'm not joking. When you when you called me yesterday, one of my neighbors stopped over, and I completely forgot to return your call. But we'll talk. We'll talk. No rush. No rush. Yeah, what is up, dude? I'm trying to fix this blackout here. Blackout is the first transformer ever to appear on screen, and my fine liner ink here completely it bled. So I mean it's there, like, just as of being able to discern what we're looking at, but it just bothers me. So I'm just trying to touch some of it up, and then I guess we're gonna have to hit it with some colored pencil, right? So I don't know. I guess I'm gonna have to drift away from using these with the paper. This is a little bit of the process when it comes to sketchbooking. You run into complete disasters, and I already have the next few of these planned out. So if one of these doesn't hit, it's like, it's bad news. And here I'm just trying to figure out. Also, I wanted to show off my next. I think it's time. We're going to get back into January this coming week also. And we got to talk about the Stan Lee Backstreet Boys, the Backstreet Project comic book right here. Okay, it's because it's pretty legit. That's an upcoming video for anyone keeping track. Yeah, I know. All the AKA Powders, we're all happy to see one another. So I'm just going to meander a little bit to kind of bring a little bit more to this, if that makes any sense. So we just get a little bit more of the impression that we're dealing with a chopper coming through the skyline right there. But cheers to all you guys. Thanks so much for hanging out. I'll show more of this off very soon, so just bear with me. So I commonly say, or I often say, that the best thing you can do to kind of grow, just as an artist, as a creator, is to find ways to do regular work. Because like you won't get the assignments enough to gain the skill set. So you have to find ways to give yourself your own assignments. And working through assignments is it's just a great test. It's a great barrier to entry, just when it comes to seeing something in your mind, having it work a little bit as a assignment, and just kind of going for it. So here, like, the idea was, like, let's use a sketchbook and not only go through like all the Transformers from every movie, but kind of let's go through the environments, the human characters, and the moments. Like, like, let's kind of emulate a lot of what it was like to see these movies for the first time. Like, what stuck out, what was good, what was awkward, what was bad, like that sort of thing. So that's a little bit of this like flash of inspiration I had when I was in. Again, a lot of times these inspirations for me, they happen when I'm like in the store, like when I'm holding the sketchbook for the first time, like stuff like that, where I just get like a flash, and I'm holding the sketchbook, I'm thinking about it. The people that work there probably think like I'm a freaking loon, because I go back, and because, like, again, living in Philly is a little bit easier to go back and forth, but I'll go back and forth with what stores have a lot, and they probably think I'm like a weirdo, because they're like, oh, that guy's back again looking at those books. Like, I guarantee they have those conversations. I'll guarantee it. But anyway, so yeah, we're just rocking and rolling here, though, guys. So the point I'm getting at is you have to give yourself assignments. You have to give yourself the ability to grow. And the only path you have for that is, you get assignments right away all the time. So you have enough of a variety of assignments to learn and to experiment. Or you do it yourself. You give yourself your own assignments, give yourself sketchbook challenges, and treat them as the real thing. So we're just kind of like blending some of the extra colors here. I really want to bring out some of this yellow, though. But here we go. So remember, it was the scene in the movie too. It was a sunset, like right before nightfall. Blackout comes and destroys the military base, which is pretty effing wild. I remember seeing that in the theater, and it would just be like, what is, like, holy crap. Yeah, I don't even like the white there. So we're going to say we're done with this page for now, and let's do a little. I wish I had more. So we kind of open everything with saying with Wiki here, or Archibald with Wiki. I'm sorry, and then we get into the discovery of Megatron. We're going to get into the space bridge that kind of flashes and embeds coordinates on the glasses, and then we jump to modern day. So I mean, I'm pretty sure, right, the movie opens with this, right, and then this is, but like, we're going back and forth. We're going somewhat in chronological order. Content page. We got Michael Bay here. This is going to be with Wiki with his parents at the house. So, but I was thinking the big assignment today should be to work on Blackout. Again, like the first Transformer on screen. How amazing is that? Like, or the first Transformer to be on live action screen. There you go. Just gotta rephrase that a little bit there. And I'm kind of craving to jump on the vehicles to get better withdrawing things in vehicle mode or alt mode. Right, alt mode's transformer mode. Vehicle, right? The transformer robots are called alt modes. All right, let's see here. Blackout, right? Blackout Transformers. An absolute monster design too. I love his design. He might be I hate to say it, right? Is it typical for me to say this is really my favorite, my absolute favorite Transformer movie, robot? He's such a monster. And even here, I feel like I botched up. Like I botched up his shape. But he's got like no neck. It's just beyond freaking cool. He's almost has like even like just like a skirt. Like the abstract shapes in the movie Transformers. I really think they're a designer's dream. And again, like it's just complete. I know it's blasphemous. We're just going to go here. We're just going to go. And by go, I mean, like, we're just kind of. And I want this to be like black and fiery. That's what I'm envisioning. That's what's happening inside Peter Brain over here. It really is. It is so crazy trying to like hit the marks on these kind of like every time. Like I don't know how people. I mean, I never really looked into it, but I don't know how people handled drawing the Bayformers monthly for a comic. I don't know if they were all just like miniseries or what. but they are like they're so detailed. But it's fun. Don't get me wrong. Like they're fun to draw. They're fun to figure out. And I want him like looking off to the side a little bit. Because, we're just kind of trying to emulate also like a little bit of his like movement that he has in that scene where he's just looking and blasting, like finding things, blasting, seeing something, blasting. See, and his arm cannon, right? Like his arm cannon is almost like it's almost just like his arm cannon is a transformer like of its own. And I don't think shape wise this looks like Blackout. Like I think his head's too big. I think his head's too big. All right, we need to make this head smaller. The head's got to go. And let's see here. Like, let's. Yeah, like I want to say, like, should I kind of like torque him? make him like look right, like dead on, like right into the viewer, like right into us. Like this is really like sometimes I'm just shading things in to try and see the shape, like the shape of what I'm dealing with. And I still don't like. Oh, Troll's back. Oh, damn! You got McDonald's. Troll, I haven't had McDonald's breakfast in like a century. I used to, dude. I used to hit McDonald's breakfast all the time on the way into the office. But we're working on Blackout here, the first ever Transformer to appear in live action, and this is him in Qatar when he sneak attacks the base, as a true Decepticon should and would. But I think we're about to start some of these inks, and I'm not sure how this is going to go. I'm a little bit paranoid about it. Let's see here. But enjoy your McDonald's, dude. McDonald's is the absolute best breakfast. It is the best. I mean, nothing even comes close. So I wonder if microns, like maybe I should just switch to some of these to really see if they respond with the watercolors the way that the other ones did. I just think some of the line work just needs to get echoed with a fine liner versus brush. for now. Like I do envision using the brush down the road to pop in more absolute and dedicated blacks. Yeah, Blackout looks so. Blackout's like the dude. His design is just so freaking. His design is like epic in my eyes. Like I just view everything about him as over the top in Hollywood, and everything we love about movies like this. And I just think people that really deter from what Michael Bay did, as a singular 5-movie set, just when it comes from like a visionary standpoint, like it's really hard to compare. I mean, I would say his next closest competitor might be Peter Jackson with The Lord of the Rings, and given like Jackson's got the trilogy there, but he lost a lot with those Hobbit movies, like faux show. So like you can kind of argue there's more than 3 Transformer movies, in my opinion, that are watchable, and the Hobbit kind of just kills that. But we're just working on just like the ideas of how to mechanically draw these guys, like the actual mechanics of it. Like, like what's our approach for shadows? What's our approach for darks, for lights? And see, like even here, like with the arm, I just kind of want to say, like, I think it's too, it's like the so it's like the tech is almost like too John Byrne, where it should be like bigger pieces, more curves, way more chunky. So like that's what I mean about the mechanics. I just really feel like I'm all over the place with this. Yeah, dude. Like like I think if because people kind of forget the absolute impact that the movie had, like to really that movie caught everyone off guard. I really feel like with a sequel or like a second movie, as big as it was, like if it was in the 80s, I think they would have had like all the action heroes in it. I think they would have just had like kind of like a military group, and it would have been like Schwarzenegger. Like what's the fantasy? Like because Schwarzenegger, Dolph Lundgren, who was that? Cynthia Rothrock, right? Is that her? John Claude Van Damme. Like, get all of those guys in the Transformers movie to fight Decepticons. Like, I just think that is so freaking, like, that's really what Transformers should always be. Like, Transformers should always be high fantasy, like kind of like dreams come true type stuff, because that's what I think that invokes, like, just as a franchise. And that's why Transformers are like what they are, is because they're such a fantasy. Like, you get into Transformers, it's like you never look at cars the same way again. You never look at a vehicle the same way again. And that's special. Like, that's really something that, like, few other properties do that, where they completely change the way you look at the world. And that's why they're special. Just trying to get Blackout's like face here, kind of like looking gnarly. And I think this piece is the piece that pops out when he looks at Tyreek, right? And he like kind of snaps that picture. So when they're walking in the desert, they have like a little bit of evidence that this thing could be like sentient. It could be like a living creature, and they're just trying to like figure things out, which is awesome, because they're from like the audience point of view. That, and I really feel like this movie here in particular would have, I think it would have resonated way more if people didn't know what Transformers were. I think if it kind of had a little bit of the element of surprise, I just feel like the movie just would have been like a juggernaut, like just one of those box office hits that really kept making money for like a entire summer or season. So much work. And I want this to be like all black. Like all black. We're going to splatter. We're going to do so many things right here. So get ready. It's going to get it's going to get messy. No, is that just available on Peacock or Paramount? I got the email on that, and dude, that's on the list for my movie stuff. And keep in mind too, I do a if you go to like even Spotify, just for example, if you go to Spotify and you type in like right here, so, here's my Spotify recent searches: Guns N' Roses, Charlie Parker, Pusha T, Aerosmith. But if you do AKA Pad on Spotify, like right here, I come right up, and it's a film buff podcast. So recently did Cocaine Bear. Everything's like a short discussion. It's just me kind of going through a movie essentially. Uh, like I might highlight different things, but Knock at the Cabin is on my list for the podcast for sure because I don't know, like, is it unpopular? I like M Night. I like what M Night does. Uh, I think M Night just gets a really weak reputation. Really kind of stemming from the Village, and dude, I was there. Like I remember the original trailers, the original like what you thought that movie was going to be or what you were hoping. I remember the disappointment of first seeing that movie, but I will say this: once you're past that, and this could take years, okay? But once you're past The Village being a disappointment based on trailers, and you watch that movie for like what it is, it's a solid flick. It's a solid flick with a awesome, incredible, awesome twist. But I'm a complete M. Night guy. I think as a writer, he's one of the best like ever. I think as a showrunner, I think as a like powerhouse idea guy, like he kind of outlived the gimmick phase. And people were after like The Happening and the Lady by Lady by the Lake or The Lady in Water. People like they were just waiting for his career to die. And you know what's another good movie that is completely overlooked? After Earth. Yeah, like solid story, like just good story. Yeah, and people kind of again. I know it's Will Smith, and well, I guess Will Smith's the new Tom Cruise when it comes to how people want to look at an actor. I mean, I don't think the shape is there for Blackout. I really don't. I think I botched. I kind of think I really feel like I botched this a little. Right, like I just the silhouette's not there. He's a little bit too humanoid, a little bit too lean. Oh, Itsuki, dude. Itsuki, way too kind. Because I'm struggling with this, dude. I really am. So what I'm doing here, just to again reveal process and highlights, and ever since I was a teenager, ever since I really got serious about drawing, you draw next to Rob Liefeld. You put Rob Liefeld on your desk. The reason for that is he's got solutions. See, like Grey Lord here in the background. If you draw the detail from the focal point to his, we'll just say ankles, okay? You're going to lose the audience and you're going to separate things too perfectly. You want things to get muddy, like either like with Hatchet's feet here, like Hatchet's feet and Grey Lord's ankles. You can kind of see it's a purposeful blur. And the reason for that is because our focal is actually here. And I'm not saying all of these moves were completely intentional by Liefeld, but this is how it comes off, and this is how to read it. Not read the words, but read the image. So what happens here is if you get too exact and you start drawing some of the ankle muscles and you start drawing the feet and shaping the foot, instead of having something ready for a impression for the colorist to take advantage of, you lose the audience, you lose the drawing. So here, like we're doing similar ideas. Like I'm not, the focal is kind of right here and here. The tag is going to be the shape of the character, just so you can identify them like via silhouette. So if someone who's a casual Transformers fan would maybe recognize them, okay? So again, the idea is we blur it the further we get into the edge of the page, because technically the audience's eyes and the viewer's eyes are here, and we blur everything out. Let that be noted. But then, like along the way, improve your shape, improve your detail, like improve some of these other things to bring more out of the drawing, to bring more. So here, like again, I'm being scratchy and loose, but then I'm going to go in with the brush pen and blast some of the areas between the scratches to round it and to make the cross hatching, or we'll call it like shadowing, appear like full. You want it to come off as real. But how cool is this though? Like this is getting there. And once you kind of again visualize what the techniques are, you kind of can see what direction is. Like, and by direction I mean like this is the way you're approaching. This is the approach. That's technique, okay? That's direction. That's the cross section there. Like those two things are going to intersect. And then along the way, you get like your idea, like your vision of it. And that might take time. So even when you're in like a sketchbook, you're going to go on a run. You're going to go on a run of things not clicking. Yeah, it's like troll flattery will get you everywhere, buddy. Yeah. Rob Liefeld's poses are, I mean, like, look at the Shadow Hawk on this. It's like I remember as a kid, like I bought this, and you do this, and you're like, fuck. And that doesn't mean that doesn't take away from Valentino, because I think Valentino really like I feel like Valentino rose to the occasion. Shadowhawk of think about it. Shadowhawk never really got anything. No animation, no movie, not like hardly any toys, no statues. Maybe he got like a model. Shadowhawk had the least. And today, has risen to the top of these launch titles. Savage Dragon, done, right? Became a pornographic book. Spawn, stay true. Spawn is Spawn, but it's Spawn and Shadowhawk. So you gotta give Valentino credit. You have to. And that's like another one of those points that, like, again, behind some of my like videos and things like that, where I just think people like they get lazy and they lock into like ideas and they miss points. So they just miss what things are really about. And it's like, ugh. But I think I'm all in on doing the Sanely Backstreet Boys video today. Now, given too, when I'm done here, I have to do some assignment work, and I gotta kind of open up. Like, what's the worst is sometimes I'll work on things when I'm like on the phone with people and taking calls and kind of like, I don't want to say like overly stressed, but it's stressful like situations. And like, I'm almost like on the cognizant level, I'm distant. Oh my God, I'm distant. Like, I'm distant from what I'm working on. And then a day or two will go by. And I'll get like a message or like a phone call or something checking in on where I'm at on a assignment or project. And I won't know. I won't be able to answer. And but just like weird, because you're like, how's that possible? But no. And then like kind of what happens is I get back into the file and it's like, holy crap, it's almost done. And like I got so good with doing that throughout the years that I almost rely on it now. But I'll say this, dude, like just working on this sketchbook, it's a little bit of a dream because I spent so much time with these movies. I know them so well. And and I'm not saying like these movies are perfect, but it's like, holy shit, dude, they are like, they're fun. Like, they're meant to be fun. Like, they're just meant to be fun and watchable and have awesome, like, amazing cars, hot babes. Like, what else do you want? I think people lose sight of that. I love that his arm, the tail propeller is like here, but then the top propellers, right? I don't know helicopter terminology there, but they kind of come down, and like I said, like the way it's designed, it's almost like a cape. It's so freaking cool. And dude, I remember seeing that in the theater and just being like, what the hell like is that, dude? Like, like you were like as thrilled as you were, I don't want to say disappointed, right? But you were like, what is this? And I think that's by design. Like, that's Michael Bay designing that moment for the audience. And everyone in the theater kind of shared it together. We're like, everyone's kind of looking around saying, like, is that a transformer? Like, what? But they're aliens. How about that? They're aliens. Yeah, dude. Like, the popular talking points, dude. Like, dude, and look, I've been a Rob Liefeld defender my entire life. Even with him blocking me on all social media. Like, that's dedication there. But no, dude, like, I kind of honestly got out just dealing with some of my weirdness just off of some of my videos and positions. Dude, I understand the blocks though. I understand just kind of even being slightly annoyed with someone and just kind of like not wanting to deal with it, or even if you're not in like a great place on an emotional level. Uh, dude, I get it. Like, the online landscape is not, it's not easy. It's not for everyone. Everyone tries to act like it's a cakewalk. It's not. It's work. It can be confusing at times. It can be frustrating. I don't blame him. I really don't. I think he's a like true effing cockmaster like level talent. He can still, like, he did that Hairborn, right? Like, he promoted that on his Facebook page. I don't know if he raised money for it, but it's like everyone gets excited. Everyone hits like the articles come out, like people get excited for another Rob Liefeld book. Book never comes out. Like people now posting questions about it. Like, where is this book? But that's not the point. The point is that Liefeld he understands how to get people really into things. And I think some of it too is like he's excited. And I think that comes through. We're going to do some scratchy cross-hatching here. Because again, too, it's still a sketchbook, right? Look at this animal. Right, yeah, a Shadowhawk game, right? Where there's only like a couple prototypes of that. The game's played, the first 3 levels were made. Yeah, I think the first 3 levels were released online. And I think there was a company that did they packaged it. Like they did like they kind of did their own edition. See, and it's like his forearms are just like, again, proportions are like, it's his proportions. Aren't his proportions just madness? It's like, what do you do with this when it comes to illustration? Like, what do you do? And I just love how brutal kind of like the movies got, where when you consider rendering time, build time, when it comes to the models, the cost of the models of one of these, like in CG, in the computer, it's like the budget of some independent movies. When you consider that, okay, you're almost at the level where when they kill a character on screen, they're killing millions of dollars. Think about that. Like, that's the real idea. That's the real position for that. All right. I mean, and I kind of wanted almost like, I don't want to say like stars or planets, but I wanted like a like a light effect here. That's what that was all about. So now we have to figure out, how are we going to add some of our, like, right, like, do we go in, like, what do we do for our black background here? Since everything's kind of watercolory, I'm thinking like, should I just do like an ink wash? A little bit paranoid too, thinking this is going to bleed like the previous page. I usually have, these are the things I usually have figured out before I go live. But see what I mean about like you add the blacks around the gaps in the cross hatching, and you just get that like little bit of a nice pop. See, and again, guys, like focal point, blur, and then blur. Yeah, I never listened to it yet. Yeah, really, dude. Like, like maybe it's worth it. I do want the Heroes Reborn. I know he did a pretty good Heroes Reborn episode. That's the one I am absolutely most curious about, and that's basically comes from like him kind of like leaving Marvel, right? Like he leaves Marvel. He has completed Stephen Platt and Rob Liefeld Captain America pages, rushes, gets American Agent from the Kirby and Simon estate, gets that, publishes that, then that gets nixed, and it becomes Fighting American. And that's one of the reasons why I love Fighting American, because I remember like as that stuff was happening, and I'm not like, no joke, you were almost just like in all of it. You were like, what's he doing? Like, very easy to kind of like you kind of fall, like you fall for kind of the behind the scenes stuff. And I don't think there's anyone in comic history that, as you were following them, like the behind the scenes stuff was as interesting as the books. Like, I can't think of many. Like, I think what will come to mind the most will be like Jim Shooter. Like, people will say Jim Shooter kind of had a little bit of that effect. Here we go here. This is one warrior, tough dude. Like the way how they even opened this movie, like you would kind of easily say, like, how would Optimus kill this guy? Like this guy would whoop Optimus's like arse. Like he would make Optimus pay for sure in trying to match up with him. Like they could have got away with Blackout being the Decepticon. Like you didn't even need Megatron. You would have accepted that. But for a first movie, like you gotta set up Megatron though. You gotta do it. So that's like a little bit what I was talking about. Like we just want this to be smoky, fiery, just like BAD. Like this is a bad day for the soldiers at Qatar. It's Qatar. I always want to say Qatar. Just looking at some of it on screen. Yeah, here we go. Oh, really? Dude, I mean, look, John Romita is like one of the all-time like Spider-Man like guys, right? But if you're making a list, John Romita Jr. is on that list for a Spider-Man artist. His positioning, and by positioning I mean kind of like his art direction for his approach for the character is so freaking good. It's interesting. It's like memeable, like, or poster, like he poster sizes Spider-Man. Some of his images for that 2000 run are forever used in Marvel, like licensing, online, like everything, dude. But yeah, like 1,000%. Junior, you can argue is, and with the coloring for that, and who was the inker? Scott Cloud, I think. No, not Scott Cloud. Oh, I forget that. But dude, that book was on all cylinders, and people kind of they forget, and that was a time too where the industry really was rebounding. Like Marvel just needed a little bit of something, you know. I don't get that, dude. I don't get people that go over. I mean, I guess I'm guilty of it, but I'm more into like people's opinions than their work. and I know that's like, to at this point, a lot of people that find me now on YouTube, that is not that's not a popular belief. So right here we got Five Below alcohol markers. Oh yeah, he was. Yeah, yeah, that's what. Yeah, 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 dude. I don't know. Yeah, like agreed. And we're like blasting. So just so you guys can, again, like, to give you a little bit of insight, my position here with the alcohol markers is to separate things a little bit more. I'm not really that big on like the color and the accuracy of the drawing. I just really want things to pop on a certain level, and I really don't have. This gray kind of is. Oh, here we go. I'm sure you guys can hear some of that. Sounds like a mouse. If I'm blasting through your airwaves, this is me with a marker. This is not a mouse scurrying around your place. So what this is doing is this is taking some of the blacks also, and it's just kind of like watering down the paper and making it a little bit extra blurry. So again, it bleeds and blurs it. So I don't even know. This might be a paper issue. That micron that I used very well could have bled like the previous one. Here we go. I mean, we're roughly an hour in, and I really thought this would be like at this stage here. I thought this would be 90 plus minutes. So not terrible. Yeah, dude. Yeah, thank you, AC. Yeah, to call the exterminator fight. Get these mice out of my freaking house. So I need almost like another. This is called blue gray. Like I almost need. I hate to use my nice ones. The uh the the Prismacolors, but I need like a little bit more variation. So some of this too. So what this is doing is again like dry brush, but I want to break it up or blend it a little bit more accurately. So again, different techniques, like not different techniques. It's like different tools, but you're still trying to do the same thing. You're just stacking your tool set. And again, too, the intention is to blend it and to make it more real, make it more there, make it more approachable, make those focal points stick out. Yeah, I still think he should be heavier like this way. And I'm grinding this a little bit too hard here. I like almost destroyed that tip. maybe now we'll get into. See, I think this is too dark, but we can test it with some of the stuff down here, because that might get way out anyway. Yeah, it's still a little bit too dark. So we'll just kind of blend that real quick. The chunkier parts are fine. Like stuff like this. But, you know, like white splatter, like up here. Again, to complement everything we've done with the dry brush. I'm just seeing like maybe some of this yellow. It's hard to see some of the highlights on his face there. Yeah, and part of the other driving force for this sketchbook was just like knowing that there hasn't been much interpretations of these designs, kind of in, we'll call it like a artistic way. So I got to figure out, I mean, we have the toothbrush here. I guess here, I mean, maybe we'll just do this. Right here, dip the toothbrush in your table side border. Always have table side border. Yeah, you might just want to kind of get a little bit out. I love the way how this feels, like the textile part of it. It feels like when you flip through the sketchbook, it is really kind of one of those things that you can't replicate it. Like you have to flip through the sketchbook. And again, too, you have to design like every inch. You have to be considerate of the audience from like any position they might first see the piece at. So if someone's like scrolling through their phone, yeah, like you kind of have to consider what they might see first. So it is corner to corner, but it's also not corner to corner. Blackout, as you've never seen him before. There you go. And we'll just get this right here. Like I said I wanted like a little bit of some nice all white highlights or all white splashes, like of color, like of a spotlight type thing. See, like that. See, I don't know why. Like I just wanted. That's almost like the reason why I wanted to draw it a certain way, just to have this effect. Like I engineered everything around the effect. And then what we'll do here is I just want his smoke and kind of like the cannon or his like shockwave cannon to be a little bit more noticeable. So I'll have to kind of like see, like fight against some of these highlights that I've already like put in here. And break it up a little bit more. See it like that, kind of like, so just so people know, it's smoking, baby. We kind of do some of that to kind of do like like just some more, like another layer of what he's on. Like he's on flaming asphalt. Like death and destruction has come. All right, I mean, I hate to say it, that went better than expected. And I should never say it. You should never like the work that you do. You should hate everything all the time. There we go. It's just like a little bit more yellow. So the follow-up is I kind of had the idea of doing like scene shots, like something from the movie, a scene from the movie, and then you get like a close-up. So this is a close-up for a blackout. So this is annoying because this has to dry now. So we're kind of stuck. Kind of stuck a little bit there. But you know what though? I think we need a little bit more maybe some splatter or some here. I just feel like we got to break this up a little bit more just looking at it. See, like that. So, and also be mindful, any technique, any like position or like approach when I explain things, it all can be duplicated in Clip Studio, Photoshop, like whatever. And this is for anyone like maybe tuning in at a later date. Because we do get some of these spike, which is awesome. They spike in the aftermarket. I'm like out of coffee too. It's almost like, I don't know why. Here we go. It's like, I think it's like the water's the problem now. The water's like not There you go. Some of it's just not loose. Here we go. That's what I want. Public safety message. Should have read that. So we get like a nice burst blend right there. And again, too, the approach should always be to blend what you're doing. Like blend what you're doing in such a way that people don't know what it is. Like someone might see this that's kind of like, in the illustration and the field, and they might think it's watercolor. Some of it they might think is airbrush, like stuff like that. And that's what you always got to try and do. You always got to try and fake out your viewer, your audience. Well, it's not terrible. Because, like, I wanted this effect. I wanted when, like, you saw this and then you flipped and you got that. Like, sunset to nighttime destruction. So, all right, everyone. March of Robots. We're marching on. We're doing bigger ideas this year. Rock and roll. Hopefully, it's only 1 o'clock. I got some work to do. Hopefully, I'll be back later tonight. I apologize. I know I said that last night.